Learning to count money was one of those. Telling time, learning how to read. And then the rest of it is, for me was kind of fluff in some regards. And that's just me, okay? I'm not talking about everybody. So we need to understand that we need to find those golden moments of opportunity, of information, that eventually through the years make a huge difference because they're magical in nature. So this morning, I just want to briefly talk a little bit about Simon Silva, who he is, how did I get here? I know you probably are not going to believe me, but in high school, I was voted the most likely not to talk. I got to the point where I was so depressed and I hated myself so much that I didn't want to talk. I had no self-confidence, and now I'm able to get up in front of, a couple thousand people. I mean, I still feel like I'm going to pass out in the beginning, but I enjoy it. I mean, I love being able to talk in front of people, and I had no idea that was part of my ability, right? So I'm going to look at Simon Silva as a good example, a great example of what a lifelong learner should be. We should be striving for all our students, for all of you, and maybe all of you already are lifelong learners, so that's a good thing, right? I'm going to look at education, what I believe education is and what it's not. I'm going to look at culture, say a couple things about that, and also creativity, or the 21st century skills that we all need to develop or be nurtured. Again, I was born in Cali, Mexico in 1961. My parents brought me to the U.S. when I was a year and a half, so I've been here for most of my life. I was the last one of 11 kids actually born in Mexicali, and I was born in the Colonia Mixteca, in case some of you are from there. For those of you who don't know where the Imperial Valley is, it's all the way south and all the way east in California, close to the border of Arizona and also Mexico. This is what Hopeville looks like. Half of the town actually burnt down, believe it or not, including the video store, which was kind of sad. But basically, it's an agricultural area that straddles the Mexican-American border. That's what it is. This is the entrance of my humble house. I consider it to be the ugliest house in the entire town, or the Bible for sure. I would ask my friends to drop me off at the nicest house, even though they knew I didn't live there. I don't know, I think the psychological mind games didn't help it. It was a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house. There was 13 people living in this house. I can tell you there was 2 or 3 people in the bathroom at the same time. That's all I'm going to say about it. I didn't have my own room. I didn't have my own bed. I slept with 2 or 3 other brothers. Uno se meaba la noche and I had to run out to dry ground. I did whatever it took to survive. And in 1979, my senior year, trying to be as cool, exit as cool as I possibly could be, my parents got this crazy idea that they were going to go to Santo Tomas, which is like a local swap meet, to buy these 5-gallon containers of bright lemon yellow paint. 79 to paint our house a bright lemon yellow. You can see 2 things from outer space. You can see the lemon yellow house and the Great Wall of China. I think the FBI and NASA kind of thought of this. What are these Mexicans doing? What are they crazy? So I asked my friends to drop me off even further away from the next town over. This is what Simon Silva looked like in 2nd grade. It's kind of a cute kid, but then I grew up, right? Don't laugh too hard. It'll happen to you too. Not only did I grow up poor, there wasn't a lot of food. Meat was only eaten on the weekends, and we ate a lot of, the throwaway meat back then, which is now expensive, like cow tongue and chicken gizzards and bone marrow, that kind of stuff. My father would buy a case of beer. He would buy us a case of powdered milk, and that was the worst thing that I ever had. So that was pretty difficult. I would go to school because I felt safer in school than in my own house, because unfortunately my father was an alcoholic, and every time he got drunk, he would gladly beat up my mom once, twice, 3, 4, I don't know, 5, 6 times a week, a month. And for a child growing up, it was not a good experience. So I would go to school because I felt safer in school, and maybe a lot of your kids in your school district feel safer in school. They do in their own home. That's quite possible. I know what you mean. But in school, I had no interest in listening to my teachers unless they were really hot. And I think I had 2 of them one day. But I went to school because I felt safer there, but I also took the opportunity to dream. What kind of future did I want? You know, and I think growing up in hardship situations, I think it gives us a good example of exactly what we want in our future. So one of the things I do with students around the country is I have them write down a list of things that they want in their futures, to take it out and look at it and say, this is what I'm striving for. This is what I want. This is only temporary, right? So that's a good thing to do. Have them make a list of things that they want in their future. So what did I want? I wanted to marry a beautiful lady. Who doesn't? I wanted a new car. I wanted 1.5 kids because it made me sound really intelligent. I wanted a nice house with my own bed, right? I wanted a weenie dog because I thought weenie dogs were cool. We just got the vodka dogs. Everybody kind of borrowed the dog, I guess. And I wanted some money. No, wait a minute. I wanted a lot of money. The more the better, right? But I would have given all of that stuff up just to be a VIP, for somebody looking at me and say, wow, you know what? I want to be like that guy. I want to be that guy. I would have given all that stuff to be a VIP. So I kind of filed my list of stuff, and that was the thing that I was kind of shooting for. But if things weren't bad enough for me, being poor, the other thing that really kind of struck me hard was the fact that I started working out in the fields since I was about 6 years old. And I know it's illegal, but there's a lot of things that are illegal, like the drivers out there that I encountered this morning that they were doing a lot of illegal stuff. And so I started working on the fields. I was taken out of school early, came back about a month and a half late. This is what a migrant student looks like, by the way. This is what he's about 15 or 16 years old, picking raspberries in Oregon or Washington State. Here's the thing. My father found out about Oregon and Washington State, and he found out that in the summer, in Washington State, the sun doesn't set till about 10:30 at night. Do you guys know that? My father, it blew his mind because he loved this concept, right? What? We had light till 10:30 at night. So he took advantage of it. He was a creative guy, right? So he worked with us till about 6:30, 7:30 at night. We still had 3 hours of sunlight. It's crazy. He loved it. He loved that concept. He loved that idea. So he literally worked us 7 days a week, 12, 15 hours a day, and it was not fun. Here's Simoncito with my brothers. I don't know what the Gilligan's Island hat here, on the bucket hat. As you can tell, my brother has his shoes off. It was about 90 degrees in Salem, Oregon, with about 90% humidity, as you can tell. It was much more pleasant to work without our shoes. In Washington State, we lived in these camps, labor camps. They've been around since the 1940s, 1930s. They were old, and the mattresses on these labor camps had been around since the 1930s and 1940s. And after sleeping on these mattresses for 2 or 3 days, their heads would get full of lice. These pillows, and I could feel them at night. They would have these little rave parties on my head, right? Jumping around there. And because my father was a very proud man, instead of taking us to the local health clinic to get our embarrassing problem taken care of, what he would do is he would lie to my sisters and I in a little chair stance. And he would go to Fred Meyer's, the local chain store up there, and he would buy a big can of this, about this size actually. And he would begin to systematically spray our heads until they formed little rivers that cascaded down our ears and eventually down our backs. And it became the summer freak show for everybody to enjoy. Kind of embarrassing, right? And it was at that point that I figured that the world would be better off without Simoncito, right? I mean, what do I have to offer? At that point, pretty much nothing. My parents had no idea what the concept of education was, or actually what it was about or what it was for. In my parents' minds, education was a complete waste of time. And think about this, right? Think about this. For individuals who have not had an opportunity to develop their abstract thinking skills, we pay thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars over the span of 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 years. And they give us a nice graduation with a nice piece of paper with a name on it. That's kind of weird. I mean, not to us, but to a lot of people that is kind of strange. It is kind of weird. What is that? So by the time I got to high school, my parents had taken out all of my brothers and sisters out of school. and the same thing was going to happen to me. And I said, no way. I'm going to rebel, right? So I humbly asked my mom to do my dirty work for me. My mom's job was to convince my father to let me go to college. She approached my dad. Here's my dad with one of his roosters. He was a gallero. I wanted to do a Jonestown and all his 500 roosters that he had in his backyard. Because he took care of these roosters better than he did his own kids. He had a special diet, he exercised them, he petted them nicely. It was a disgusting thing to experience. Unfortunately, my father didn't respond very well. He wanted to beat us both up. He wanted to kick us out of the house, and he called us a whole bunch of bad words in Spanish and in English, because every time he got drunk, he became completely trilingual. I think he was working on his German with tequila shots. Luckily for me, moms, poor moms, you know, you guys get 1 day out of the year, where if you're Latina, you get 2 days out of the year. I think we deserve at least half of the year, right? But, you know, maybe you guys can switch over to Latinas and we'll give you 2 days. I don't know. I'm just saying. Luckily for me, I had a mom who would have done anything for me. And she did. She called my 2 aunts. They formed their own little wise woman club. You can call it a gang if you want. And they were going to force my father to change his mind, and they did. And so, you know, women have been a big part of the big change that we need. So, thank you, mothers. I was college bound. I went to a community college for 2 years. And even before the economic collapse, I have been a big advocate for community colleges. I know UC Irvine is a great university. There's a lot of great universities out there. But for someone like me who didn't know what education was about or what to expect, I think community colleges are a great deal for your money. And I was the community college school district speaker last year, November, to San Jose. And I'm a big advocate of promoting community colleges, especially for those of us who are financially challenged, being poor. Okay? So for you as parents, if you don't know the differences between a community college, a four-year university, or private school, please ask questions. We're all ignorant. Ignorance is not a bad thing unless you don't do anything about it. Okay? So I'm ignorant about a lot of things. So if you don't know the difference, please ask. I decided to major in art because it was the cheapest thing I could find. I was good at it, and I figured I'd have much more success in it. I ended up transferring to the world-famous Art Center College of Design in Pasadena, California. No, this is not Richard Ramirez. I don't know why somebody asked me that. This is Simone Silva prior to hair gel and money, right? I graduated with an illustration major only because, again, it was the cheapest major I could find. It took me 5 years to graduate because I took a lot of semesters off because I needed money. I had no money. You know, people found out about Simone Silva at Art Center. You know, people with a lot of money, and they had compassion on me. You know, they gave me money, they gave me materials, but more importantly, they gave me advice. And I do believe that even in the 21st century, there still exists a lot of people who want to be part of a success story. I believe all of you want to be part of a success story. For your kids, other kids, for your community, for our state, for the country. But there's one requirement, right? We need to show people that we want to succeed, right? So it's important that your kids, your students show somebody that they want to succeed. And I did that, and I think the most important part that I received from those individuals was just advice. Hey, you know, this is just temporary. I know it's hard. I know it's difficult. Going from a small town to LA, basically, I can tell you that I cried for 2 or 3 months. I screamed, I yelled, I wanted to quit. But that advice and support was incredibly important in that point in time in my life. I gave my parents 6 months notice of my graduation, and my parents did not show up. And for many years, I assumed they didn't show up because they just didn't care. And that wasn't the case. I don't believe that's why they didn't show up. I believe the reason why they didn't show up is because they were scared and they were embarrassed. They had some pretty ugly clothes and a good car, they had no money, no social skills. And I still travel around the country, and I'm glad to hear that you guys are looking at welcoming parents. Because as I travel around the country, I go into these school districts where the secretary or whoever is at the front office is not very welcoming. at all. And for somebody who's afraid to go to these places, be very careful who's representing you, because they're the people in the front office who are representing you guys. Be very careful with that. Because there's been, even as an educated person, I can defend myself, but a lot of parents can't. And I would say that is critical, so I'm glad you guys mentioned that. You guys are welcoming and working on welcoming parents. That's super important. I graduated, I thought I was going to be rich and famous, but I looked at myself in the mirror and I did not like what I saw. I saw Simon Silva, right? Who wants to be Simon Silva? I didn't want to be Simon Silva. I still wanted to be the good-looking guy. I still want to be the good-looking guy, actually. I wanted to be the rich guy, the football player, right? I wanted to be everybody else other than Simon Silva. And I think that's one of the big parts that's missing in our education system. You know, the whole thing about depression is part of the component. I mean, I'm not an expert in that, but I can tell you that personally, it had to do with how I felt about myself. I didn't like myself. I didn't want to be myself, right? And then I encountered this thing called books. My brother-in-law was taking a Chicano Lit course at UCLA during the whole hunger strike day. And he started reciting his books with my wife and I. And it was like somebody just turned on the lights upstairs. I was the non-reader going up to school, just stuff that I didn't like to read, right? So being able to read Chicano literature and being able to identify the characters in these books was super important for me. And I began to read everything and anything. So for those of you who don't like to read, I think that it's critical that we get back on track to reading books. Especially for our children, because I can tell you that that was a huge, huge difference in my life. That is the secret to success. Trust me. Education, I still come across a lot of people who have a distorted view as to what education is. Education is not about getting your degree, making a lot of money, and getting yourself incredibly in debt. Okay? That's not what education is for. Education is, as far as I'm concerned, is about creating lifelong learners. People who are going to want to learn for the rest of their lives. Not just for 1 or 2 or 4 years, but for the rest of their life. But I will go further and say that a big chunk that's missing out of our education system is to look at ourselves in the mirror, right? And to get to a point in our lives where we look at ourselves in the mirror and we like who we see. We like who we are. Right? We don't want to be anybody else. I don't want to be anybody else. But we ask ourselves a very important question, right? What other abilities, what other things do I want to know about Simon Silva? I know for a fact that I'm more interesting than the Kardashians, guys. And we're currently living in a society that is more interested in learning about everybody else other than themselves. And that does not look good for us. You're more important than everybody else, trust me. You just need to dig deep and ask the question. And a great part of education, ultimately, is to figure out who you are and why you're incredibly special and important, and what it is that you have to offer the rest of us. Because a lot of you, because of the fact that you haven't developed enough, maybe you're limiting what you can offer us. And I want you guys to offer me everything that you have. I want to make sure that we all offer ourselves everything that we have and not shortchange anybody. Education is a progressive discovery of our own ignorance, says Will Durant. Ouch. That's rough, man, but it's so true. The more I learn, the more ignorant I become, right? Based on what I don't know. And again, ignorance is not bad unless you actually don't do anything about it. So we're all ignorant. When I got married to my wife 31 years ago, she said she wanted to have 6 kids, and I said, with who? Me. So when the first one was coming out, I said, how many do you want? And I think I lost a little bit of hair in the back. I wanted one. Well, actually, I wanted half of one. One that didn't grow up and had still control and kind of, wouldn't eat too much food and stuff. But we ended up with 3 kids. I did the math, right? And my wife's birthday is in May, Mother's Day is in May. She got 2 days there. I love Pinot Noir, so in Malbec. So you add all that stuff together, we ended up with 3 kids. Right? So watch out with the wine, guys. It's dangerous. You know, because my parents were part of my education, I was so excited to be. Some of you can't see it, right? We've compartmentalized everything. The question for the 21st century should be, how many things do you want to be? I don't know who made up that dumb rule, right? That we can only be one thing. I'm being asked to all of these educational conferences all over the country. I'm not an educator. I'm not. So how many abilities do we have? Well, according to the book Multiple Intelligence, we have many, right? And I know for a fact we have many. When people ask me, what do you do for a living? I say, well, I write, I paint, I speak, I write. I'm still trying to figure out what else I can do, right? So we've kind of boxed in every aspect of who we are as human beings into one career. And we're missing out because we can actually do a lot of things really, really well, right? So we've compartmentalized everything, and we need to get out of that mindset of being just boxed into one thing. And again, Howard Gardner said best that we do have multiple intelligences, multiple abilities. I would suggest that it's important to cultivate your mind early in all areas of your life so you don't become a one-dimensional person. Become a lifelong learner and become aware of all of your natural abilities. I don't know if you know this or not, but 68%, I believe that's the number, 68% of NBA basketball players basically go bankrupt after 5 years of retirement. And it's not that better with the NFL players than baseball players. Why? Well, theory has it from what I've read that they're one-dimensional. They've worked on one thing super hard, and they haven't figured out the other aspects of who they are. So be careful if you want to be a professional basketball player. You might end up in the street. So there's a huge value in variable experiences. And these variable experiences don't actually have to cost you any money. Again, the internet is a tool that we can experience many, many different things. Last night we had Peruvian food, and the people that were running it were Japanese Peruvian. And that kind of freaked me out in a good way. And the food was amazing, right? We ate way too much. But my suggestion to you would be that, these variable experiences, if you're only listening to one type of music, eating one type of food, having one type of conversation, it can be pretty limiting for you in terms of your personal growth. I can guarantee you that we're going to find key pieces of ourselves in our creative experiences. I guarantee you that. The one thing that I'm going to say about culture, culture is an amazing, beautiful, fantastic thing that we have. I don't care what culture you come from. My oldest son, he thought he was Japanese. And I supported him. My middle son, he wants to be black. And he's supported there too. My youngest son, he started listening to música mexicana, right? And we're okay with that. The idea here, guys, is that culture, again, is a beautiful, fantastic thing. But at the same time, it's like a double-edged sword. If you don't use it correctly, it can also hinder your personal growth. If you only eat Mexican food, which is fantastic, if all your friends are brown, black, green, purple, or red, if you only have one type of friend, that's going to be limited. If you need some color friends, I have some purple friends and some green friends that I can let you borrow. Culture is one of those things that can offer us variable experiences to help us become lifelong learners, but it can also limit us depending on how if we use it incorrectly. So be very careful with that, because every culture has something unique and different to offer. And if you don't look into another culture, you could be missing out that key ingredient that's going to make you super successful, and it's going to put you on that track of becoming a lifelong learner. So please look into other cultures, embrace other cultures, because there's a lot of good stuff there. There really truly is. So again, variable experiences. I do want to say a couple things about creativity, because Most people have no idea what creativity is. So I want to show you guys what I think creativity looks like.
Ay, sí.
All right, unfortunately I can't show you the rest of that, but so let me ask this question, very important question. How many of you consider yourselves to be creative at this point? It's about right. Not everybody raises their hands. But here's the thing. I didn't ask how many of you know how to draw and paint. That was not the question. It's a simple question. How many of you consider yourselves to be creative? Right? And you don't have to be an artist type in order for you to be creative. I've encountered teachers who are much more creative than my artist friends. So there's a great deal of confusion still in the arena of even what creativity is. I can tell you that all of you are still incredibly creative. I know that for a fact. Now, it may be a little dinged up, a little damaged, but that can be fixed. Don't worry about it. But I know for a fact that all of you are incredibly creative still. But a lot of this confusion comes from the home, it comes from the early grades, and even today in the 21st century, this is an art project for many teachers in many of our school districts around the country. And I know, because my wife has told me that there are motor skills to be learned by filling in colors. There was a really interesting article yesterday at NPR about coloring books. Okay? Basically, I told people to stay away from them, get them out of your house, because they're not good creative-wise. Okay? Read the article. I can't explain all of that stuff right now. But here's an art project that one of the teachers left for my wife to give to their students. My wife calls me or texts me, she says, what do you want me to do? And I said, I want you to throw that in the trash, even if you get fired. And I want you to show them some videos of some animals, birds, insects, fish. Give them some paper and some crayons and some color pencils. That's all you need to give them. And you know what happened? This is what happened. And this is what happened. And these are kinder first, I believe. And this is what happened. And then President's Month came around, and one of the teachers at the school decided that they were going to fall in line with basically doing art directions. All the directions. So she decided she was going to teach her students how to draw George Washington. And I did. There's state mandates and requirements and all that other good stuff. But are we damaging more than what we're gaining? Is there more damage than what we gain? So luckily for us, there are students who don't pay attention, like this guy. This is George Washington. And when my wife showed me this, I told her, do you realize what this kid has done? This kid and many other kids are producing stuff that we have no idea how complex and rich and genius this stuff is. And I know many of you aren't prepared to understand what I'm talking about here, but I'll give you an example. But in the next few months, I'm going to rip off this kid and a whole bunch of other kindergartners. No, I'm serious. I'm going to rip them off. Because these guys are producing stuff that is at a highly sophisticated level, but we don't understand it because we're not well prepared. Most teachers are only required to take one art class. That is not enough to teach art in your classroom, okay? And it's not about using recycled materials to create flowers. That's crafts. We need to teach the arts correctly, efficiently, and better to enhance what's already naturally there in our children. All of our children have all, or 99.9% of the 21st century skills. And then we eliminate it, and then we go back to school to try to gain them back. And I'll show you a little bit more of what I'm talking about here. This isn't translated in Spanish, but I'll tell you that. Here's a list of the principles of great design. And even this alien that this kindergartner drew, even if it looks kind of weird to you, I can tell you that if you dissect it based on the principles of great design that great artists use, this kid is only missing one, but that still doesn't make it less. It just means that he's missing one. And it makes him more genius because he's able to create something that was amazing here. Okay? Simply amazing and genius. And this is a good list of principles of great design. It's a good list for you as a parent or as a teacher to give your child, your student, a professional critique. Because that's how we should be addressing the stuff in the classroom. Give them their own critique. Give this as a serious subject, as a serious assignment, and I'll tell you why. Here are the list of things that don't exist in a child's mind. They didn't exist in our minds as children, right? And as you can tell, it's perspective, failure, doubt, space, time, limitations, message, rules, mistakes, and criticism. Take a look at the things that do exist in a child's mind. Just the top one alone, improvisation. For those of you who don't know what improvisation is, it's basically being able to do something, take care of a problem, resolve a problem. We have no limitations, so you're able to improvise, right? Our kids, the only channel that we watch in our house for the most part is the food channel, right? That's the only one that matters anyways, right? But my kids love to cook, and many of the times they don't have the right ingredients, but does that stop them? No. Why? Because they have improvisation skills. And a person in the 21st century who has an abundance of 21st century skills is going to be highly sought after, right? And is going to be able to make more money if money is the only thing they need to understand, or they want to understand. So you have individuality. All our children, all of us have an abundance of individuality. We have an abundance of creativity, color, freedom, imagination, curiosity, and pretending. That basically is all of the 21st century skills. Communication, our kids are able to communicate visually many times even before they're able to speak. And so we need to use that. We need to use what naturally is already there. And we're not doing that because we're not teaching our parents and our teachers enough what to look for. Okay? So that's very, very important. This is a painting by Jean-Michel Basquiat. It sold for $110.5 million. Is it worth that money? Well, it's worth whatever you want to pay for, really. I wouldn't pay $110.5 million for this painting, but maybe for another one of the other ones that he's painted, for sure. But here's my point on this. Here's another one of Basquiat's drawings. Does this piece look awfully familiar to the one that the kindergartner did? Do you guys see a similarity? But see, here's the thing, guys. We as adults have this thing called adultism, and we've already established that as adults we know everything. Is that true? Do we know everything? No. There's a lot of stuff that as soon as you walk out of here, you're not going to understand it. I don't even understand. A lot of stuff in technology I don't understand. But here's the thing, we've already established as adults we know everything, and so we're going to override what a child is able to do, because how clever, how much of a genius can our children really be? Well, they're pretty fantastic, right? Because there is no difference between this and this. The only difference is that this is an adult and this is a kindergartner. And we're going to lessen it because it's done by a kindergartner, and we need to get away from that stupidity. Okay? That's what it is. So, what is art? Because a lot of people are still confused as to what art is and what it's not. Well, I can tell you that art is not about something that matches your pouches. It's not. Okay? And I'm sorry if I offend you. When people ask me, what is art? I tell them, well, look, why is art important? What is art? Well, number one, let me tell you that the arts help us nurture our unique filter or lens. My teachers set me up for failure because they told me I was the best artist in their classroom, and I never won an art contest. Never. Because I thought art was about creating realism. Well, if you want realism, just take a photograph. Art is supposed to take what we see, this reality that we live in, and be able to interpret it in an individualistic manner. To me, I think art, great art, I should say, can make us feel more, it can make us think more, it can make us grow more, and it can make us experience more. It's not about the pretty pictures, guys. It's about the message and how it moves us. If you go to a museum, you don't come away with a painting, right? If you did, you'd be in jail. You come away with the experience. And you can look at it in many different levels, right? The composition, the actual lighting, stuff like that. But you can also walk away with the political, the social, the emotional, right? And that's what we should be doing with our kids. Not teaching them how to do stuff realistically, because that doesn't matter. We shouldn't be doing the arts and crafts stuff, okay? That can wait. That can wait. And if you guys are doing the National Art Series in your schools, you guys need to save your money and take those out. Because basically what you're telling these kids is that whatever their genius level is artistically, they need to be doing what these guys, these master artists did. Well, I don't know if you know this or not, but the master artists actually wanted to regress back to their childhood because they, in their minds, understood that the pinnacle of their great education and individuality was to be found in their childhood. That's an interesting point, right? So there's a huge difference between talent and creativity. They are not the same thing. They can coexist, but they don't always coexist together. So focus on the idea of unique voice, unique perspective, or unexpected. You know how to know something is really, really good? I know something is really, really good when it makes me jealous that I was the one who did that. If I don't care, if I see something and I don't care about it, to me, probably not that good. But if it makes me jealous, look at it. I know something is really, really good. Like the kindergarten stuff, those kindergartens really piss me off. They are so much better than I am. They truly are, right? So take a look at these high school award-winning pieces of artwork. This is just, in my opinion, again, just pure talent. Anybody can do this. I don't want to know who these kids are. I don't want to hire them because anybody can do this. And I know for a fact that if I had enough time with each and every one of you, I can teach you how to do it this well or even better. However, keep in mind, is there anything here that is unique or different? That you say, wow, I've never seen that before. Probably not. However, if we look at children's artwork, who does a horse with 5 legs? Seriously. I want to do one with 6 just so I can meet this kindergarten. I can tell you because I know design, the one with the mice is exquisite. It's individualistic. It's beautiful. I want to know who these kids are. I want them to teach me stuff. I want to buy their artwork. These guys, not so much. But these guys, they have something incredibly special and genius happening about this stuff. Amazing stuff, right? So it was Albert Einstein who said back in the 30s that in order for us to maintain our leadership position in the world, it's not going to be dependent on how well we teach math and science. But look at this. But on how well we teach individualism and creativity. We've tried math, we've tried the science, and we're still, what, 26, 27 in the world? It hasn't worked. And now we're doing STEAM, and if we don't do that right, which I don't think we are necessarily, we're not going to get it right, guys. What happens when everyone around the world and the grandmother is able to do apps, coding for computers? Are they going to be indispensable in the 21st century? No, because there's a lot of people around the world that are better than us already. So what is the one thing that we can enhance that is going to get every one of our children to be indispensable in the 21st century workforce? Their individuality and their creativity, which they already had to begin with. So we're fighting what's already naturally there. Shame on us. We didn't get it right. Simon Silva, I guarantee you, has no special abilities. I have no special abilities. I really don't. And it was Albert Einstein who said, I have no special talents. I am only passionately curious. As a lifelong learner, just like Albert Einstein, I am passionately curious about everything. Why is the sky blue? Do fish drink water? I heard that in a Mexican song when my wife was listening to the Christmas. Do fish drink water? Do they get salt water? Have you ever wondered about that? I am passionately curious about everything, and that's what makes me a lifelong learner. And as a kid, growing up, we had very little money for toys, so we had to make up our own. As kids, we all had this amazing sensibility. And back then and today, most parents, most adults look at cardboard boxes simply as a piece of trash. We looked at it as an opportunity. And can you imagine if we were able to produce generation upon generation that still maintain a great sense of that sensibility, creativity, and curiosity? It's not a piece of trash, guys. It's whatever you want it to be. It's whatever you want it to be. It's not a piece of trash. It's an opportunity, right? And it was Tony Wagner who said it the best. There was a point in time in our society where knowing more than the person sitting next to you was a great advantage. Dates, numbers, definitions. But now we walk around with these things called cell phones, and basically it's a computer. You can ask it whatever you want, and it will find you an answer to your question, any question. Now, it may not be the truth, which is part of the problem that this new generation is going to have, filtering all their garbage that isn't true. But I can find you an answer. So Tony Wagner is saying that there is no more advantage knowing more than the person sitting next to you. There's a level playing field now, right? He goes on to say that what the world cares about is what are you going to do with what you do know. And you know what that reminded me of? I interpret that as the cardboard box, right? As kids, we didn't know a lot, but look at how much more we could do than our parents, than most adults. So the future, the indispensable person is going to have an abundance of individuality, originality, creativity, not just a degree, and not just intelligence, because everybody already has that for the most part, okay? And if you don't understand it, I'll tell you this much. I'll tell you that these studies that have been done and continue to be done, basically what it equates to is that the new current position of a lot of companies is that they're looking not for people with degrees or with intelligence, they're looking for people who are individualistic thinkers, who are creative. And what does that equate to? It equates to making more money and being indispensable in the 21st century. Because if you're like everybody else, you are in risk of losing your job and losing everything. So people laughed 20 years ago when I said that the arts, specifically creativity, was going to save the world. People are no longer laughing at me. That's a good thing, because it doesn't feel good, right? And here's the secret to it all, guys. I know that some of you don't believe that I don't have any special abilities, but I really don't. That's the thing, I really don't. I just get super excited about learning stuff. Does this still happen to you? Do you still get excited about learning? Really? I mean, if you don't, you're missing out. That's what education should have always been. It should have been this exciting thing that you want to break down the school door just to get in and learn something. Or crack that book open, right? Here's the secret, guys. You guys have given yourself a gift by being here this morning. Anaseli and the other parents who work on this have given you a gift with information. And you have two options. You can take this information that you're going to hear throughout the day, and you can spit it out, trample it, throw it away, disregard it, and do nothing with it. Or you can do the other thing. We plant a seed, and you can water it, nurture it, and something magical is going to happen, and I guarantee you, because I used to think that my ideas and my abilities were extremely special. They're not that special. What happens with me and what can happen with you is that you internalize this information, you continue to water it and nurture it and let it grow. How long does it take, Mr. Silva? I have no idea. What is it going to become, Mr. Silva? I have no idea. And isn't that the beauty of education? The uncertainty, the unknown. If I would have known that I was going to be doing this stuff for a living, professional speaking, I would have said, you're crazy, that's never going to happen. But it happened, and it was magical, it was beautiful, it was motivational, and so you have two ways to go this morning. You're going to spit out this information and disregard it, or you're going to do something with it, and I promise you something magical is going to happen. What is it going to become? I have no idea. It could be a great conversation, it could be a book, it could be a movie, it could be a curriculum, it could be whatever you want it to be. But you need to make that decision and you need to stick with it, okay? But I'm going to leave you with this final thought. We can create this amazing, beautiful new generation of gifted individuals, which includes all of you as parents. Because if the only thing that you can bring to the table after you continue to grow is a great question, don't knock a great question or a great comment, because a great question can change everything. I know it changes everything for me. So even a great question can do that. But here's the thing, guys, especially the times that we're living in, if we just create kids that are super creative and intelligent and gifted, but they have no respect and compassion and love for everybody, are we moving forward or are we moving backwards? So be very careful that as parents you teach your kids how to say thank you, how to open doors for people, how to be grateful and gracious and compassionate and loving and respectful. Because God knows we need a lot more of that, especially in the times that we're living. Thank you so much and good luck. Before you leave the stage, can we just again thank you for your time and your assets and the things that you shared with us. We lots to reflect on, and we're very excited. We want to thank you with a small little token of our appreciation and a gift for us, and a certificate that says thank you very much. I know we have lots to think about. We also